and I'm here today with a new guest, Carolyn Diggins. Carolyn is a community herbalist, a master gardener, and the owner of Full Moon Elixirs. She also is a member here at Yoga Stories. So welcome, Carolyn, to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Lynn. Thanks. Clap, 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 as the young ones do.
Right. Well, and that explains how I know Carolyn. So she's from Yoga Story, but she's been coming to Yoga Story, and then we follow each other on social media, which I have the love-hate relationship with social media. I just took everything off my phone again. Like I put it on, I take it off, I put it on, I take it off, because I know I need to advertise, but at the same time, it's like my brain gets caught.
That's how I feel. I'm icked out by it, and I know I have to do it, and yet I cringe every time I have to post a video or do something.
The majority of referrals I get are word of mouth. I have had the odd person come in like for personal training.
Yeah.
Like, how did you hear about me? Oh, just some online somewhere. I don't
Word
remember.
of mouth is everything.
Like, oh, okay. But
Social media is more like, okay, a checklist. I've got it on there.
I'm gonna do my post. But Carolyn, I was following her on Instagram, and she posted something, or I had posted. No, you'd posted something about the mimosa flowers.
Yes.
And I was like, tell me more.
Yes.
What is this in the throes of perimenopause? Something that could possibly make me not feel like jumping off this bridge over here. A little dramatization, but also not. Because if you're of that age, you know that sometimes it can be very rough emotionally. But you responded and explained what mimosa flowers can do.
With mostly like that stagnant anxiety, stagnant energy when it comes to like when you need that joyful lift. You know, I think of what the flower looks like. It's like a little wavy looking flower, like a little, I don't know, fan, a little paintbrush. It's so pretty, and it works like that too.
And I'm like, how did you figure this out? Because this is an invasive tree in Northwest Arkansas that you can gather the flowers from. So
and the bark, if you safely take a limb so it doesn't hurt the whole trunk. But the bark and the flower are used in traditional Chinese medicine.
So I made my boyfriend on a run. We were running past. There's a spot on our run where they're just flush. And so it was last spring, I guess.
June. It's always in June.
Okay, so it's last June. And he was running with his shirt full of mimosa flowers.
Girl. I have
some of the tincture left.
I have some funny foraging stories, where you're like, all you have is like a clean, dog poop bag, but you're like, well, I'll just put flowers in, and you're smelling it and someone walks by, and I'm like, I'm not crazy, I promise, there's flowers in here. Like,
it does really smell
I just walked past this. I had to get it. Foraging is so much fun though.
So that got me interested in what her journey was, and it was you were on your way becoming a master gardener and this community herbalist. And tell us a little bit more about how you got into that, because I feel like I haven't heard the whole story, and I didn't want her to tell me in advance of this, but it feels like it's a really interesting story.
It is. And I think any herbalist, they don't come to herbal medicine just because they're seeking it out. I feel like the majority of my herbalist, can have the same story, which is you are presented with a problem, a health issue comes up, and you go and there's a solution is given, but it really in your gut, you're like, something's missing. I'm missing a big piece to this puzzle. And so for me, that happened in 2019. I think it was a transformative year for a lot of people. But it happened in April of 2019. I was a mother of young children and, relatively healthy. And then I had a seizure, and I was like, well, where did that come from? We went to the ER. They're like, well, we didn't observe it, so we can't diagnose it. And so I went home. I didn't really change anything. I was like, well, that was weird. And then 2 weeks later, I had 5 seizures, tonic-clonic. So the full big boy ones, where you're, and I wasn't coming out of them on my own. Typically with a seizure, you go through a cycle and then you come out of it. I wasn't coming out of it. And so I spent 2 days in the neuro ICU. and had the full workup. And thank God I have modern medicine. You won't find me, I'm not an herbalist that's anti-allopathic medicine by any means. But the full workup came back that stress was the underlying cause of my seizure disorder, which I now am diagnosed with. And so I was like, huh? Like, that's it? I'm always stressed.
And it's so interesting. Like, I don't know if you and I have had the conversations about like what background you come from, but me, it was evangelical Christian.
Yeah,
so it was just like, just pray that away.
Yeah, Roman Catholic says offer it up.
Yeah.
You know, like offer it up, give it up. You know, and so you wear yourself down because you're like, well, that's the spiritually correct thing to do.
Yes, or whatever.
Yes,
and it's like, no, the stress is a real thing.
It is, and our nervous systems are real things that need to be taken care of. And so, you know, they discharged me. They said, you know, actually on a non-therapeutic dose of seizure medication. So I actually had to go to another doctor to realize that I wasn't even on the right dosage. And I accepted that, right? You're like, okay, well, I don't want to die. I don't want to have a seizure in my sleep and not wake up, you know? And especially because I was a single mom by the time these things were going on. So I started, as a crunchy person does, I started going, well, what else can I do? How else can I support my nervous system? Because this is basically, I've fried my nervous system at this point. How am I going to rebuild it? And it didn't start with herbs. In fact, I didn't even know what herbalism was. I'd never heard of it. It started really with me looking at my own, like doing a internal diagnosis where you look at yourself and you go, okay, where are the stress points? Where can I put more boundaries up? And also, what am I consuming? So first thing to go was caffeine, believe it or not, which is so not popular to talk about. Everyone loves coffee.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it. But I was drinking energy drinks like they were water. You know, I was just cracking one open any time of day. And that's terrible for your nervous system. I mean, if you're doing that right now, don't do that. You know, un cup of coffee, yes, un cup of coffee a day, or you know, it's fine. But just remember that caffeine is a very strong stimulant.
Oh, so today is day one of no coffee for me. I've had black tea and that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a you're able to titrate down because it is a very addictive to our nervous system.
It is. I didn't want to
and
turkey.
no, girl, no. And the next thing that I took out was alcohol. And that's another not popular thing, but I was going, okay, well, I've got a nervous stimulant and a nervous depressant. These are two things that I'm consuming regularly that are really hard on my body. And so that was where I was for, you know, I guess 2 years or so, where I was just like, okay, and I was feeling better. I was doing well. And then, eating well and things like that. And then I was in Eureka Springs, and I was just, you know, as one does, wandered into this very witchy bookstore. And it was just this beautiful little bookstore. And I walked in, and I almost like beelined to this book, and it was Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbals, a beginner's guide. And I actually brought it. I want to show people because it is you can see it's stained. It's got, I've got postcards in there with notes. Like, I mean, it's a well-used and well-loved book. But I read that book cover to cover. I bought it, took it home. I had this, like, when I held it, I had this, like, tingly sensation where you know something is about to happen. And, like, I don't know if you've ever experienced that feeling. It's like I don't know what's coming, but something is coming. And it's good. And so I took it home. I read it cover to cover. And then I just got to work. I started buying and growing all the herbs that were in there. And I started making tinctures and elixirs and oxymels and, I mean, everything I could. And started applying it to not just my nervous system, my immune system, my endocrine system, my digestive system. You know, I just started applying it in different ways. And I was like, holy cow, this is working. Like, my digestive's really well. My skin is clear. My mind is clear. It's not, it's calm, and the crazy spikes of stress aren't staying spikes. I'm able to regulate back down to the, you know, parasympathetic, you know, state. And as one does whenever they discover something magical, they are like, oh my gosh, I gotta tell everybody. I gotta tell everybody about the word of the herbalisms, you know, and I was like, you know, making stuff. And my sweet friends that were my little guinea pigs, where I would make disgusting tea blends. Shout out to my friends Lindsay. Whenever she had a respiratory, I made this disgusting, but I was like, drink it, it'll work. But the reality is, I should have made it a tincture, which is actually a better way to get it because it's super better. But yeah, I got to a point where I was like, I want to know more. I want to know more. So I started looking into schools. And at this time, I'm working full-time as a product development in corporate world, right? So I'm going overseas, sourcing factories. I'm in a very busy job. But I found a school, the Rosemary Gladstar's Science and Art of Herbalism. And it's about a year to 2 year program, depending on your pace. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign up for it. And what's worse can happen? And so I signed up for it, and then it was like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of information. How am I ever going to learn all of this stuff? And then I was like, okay, I can do this. And then it became my favorite thing in the world. And work, I've always put myself into work. I've been one of those personalities. But work became, I am way more interested in herbalism than I was in what I was doing day to day. And I was like, I don't know where this is going, but I think this is a career path I want to follow. I don't know what career path. I didn't have a job description in mind. I didn't have like an idea of where I was going, but I was like, this is a leap of faith moment. I can either go this path or I can go this path. And so I took a leap, and in 2023, in the fall, I left my job full time, which was scary. And I'm grateful for my very supportive family and husband, and we'd battened down the hatches to make it affordable, and went back to school full time. And then I not only did that, I finished that program in 2024 because I went at it crazy. I just went voraciously into it. And then 2024, I graduated. I've done several conferences and herb symposiums since then, lots of intensive traditional Chinese medicine training. And this year is the year I decided to start Full Moon Elixirs, which I have wellness consultations with clients, and really getting out into the community and wanting to do more workshops and teaching. And so that's where I am right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, bringing the yoga part of it into it, when did you start integrating yoga into all of this? Yeah.
Oh, I just got chills. Yoga's been with me way before herbs. Before I think, so I don't know if you remember DVDs.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember what a
DVDs are these discs?
Yes, for the young ones out there. In my college dorm, back in 2005, I had like a Pilates yoga double disc like DVD set, and I would put it in, and I'd do my little yoga in my dorm room, but it was more of like a robotic. I'm going through the motions. Here I am in yoga. Yeah. This is a fitness. It's a fitness routine for me. And then maybe my junior year of college, I was in Fayetteville, and I went to a hot yoga studio there called Mojo Hot Yoga, and it was like every hippie college kid's yoga story dream. Yoga story has its vibe, right? But this place was a vibe. We're talking tapestries and Buddhas and Ganeshas, and you walk in and they're like clearing your chakras as you walk in, and I was like, this is cool. And so that's where I kind of discovered the more spiritual side to yoga and really dove into that. Yoga's been a constant. This is over 20 years. It's been something that even if I didn't have a studio, it was something I would go on YouTube and find someone, or it's always, through pregnancies, through divorce, through grief, it's always been something that has been there for me. And I like challenges, and so I love that yoga ebbs and flows, and depending on where you are, and it meets you where you are. Even if if you're pregnant, you can find a way to work around to these postures. But if let's say you're having a really sad day, you can do more of a grounding yin practice. And so yoga story, when I moved back to Bentonville, because I actually was in Colorado. I guess this would have been about 7 years ago. Okay. I don't know when I officially joined Yoga Story, but I want to say at least like 5 years. I started doing some classes and then officially started doing like the memberships maybe at least 3 or 4 years ago. But this has been my home ever since. And I love it. I'm such a big fan, if you didn't know. I'm glazing you right now, but I'm just saying.
So what do you see as the connection between these two paths that you've been on for a while and one came kind of alongside? How do you make the connection between the two?
There's again, chills again. There's so many connections. I mean, in yoga, you're bringing your mind and your body together, right? Your spirit, your mind, and your body. Herbalism is a way to connect spiritually and physically and mentally, to bring yourself into the, I guess, medicine receiving process. You connect with the plants on an energetic level. As an herbalist, I connect with people on an energetic level. It's a very spiritual and artistic practice. But like with yoga, there's so many times where, we talk about dropping in and trying to get out of our chattering monkey mind, right? And a lot of us struggle with it, okay? Yeah. And like, for example, there's an herb called skullcap, and I love it. I use it every day. It's in the mint family. Despite its scary name, it's a very safe herb. And just like the name, it kind of puts a little cap on your skull when you're like, shh, shh, shh. Yeah. you're thinking a lot, but it doesn't sedate. So that's what I really enjoy about herbal nervines is there are sedating ones, but there are ones that don't necessarily knock you out. Same with when you're working with heart chakra, heart opening, asanas, you find that you maybe want to incorporate some heart opening plants. You've got hawthorn, you've got rose, which is beautiful for both the energetic and physical heart. Motherwort, it's a cardiac nervine. And then the obvious in my head is obviously when we're practicing hot yoga, we are working with our elimination systems. We're sweating, we're twisting, we're trying to get rid of this toxic buildup within our gut and in our liver. We're doing, especially in the twisting. And so there's herbs, obviously, you work with that help with the, lymphatic, your liver, your gut. So any of these systems of elimination, it has to have a way to get out of your body. So you can twist it and move it around, but if you're not moving it out, it's kind of just floating around in your bloodstream. And then now you've got excess hormones, floating around, or you're trying to get it to reuptake and get out. So that's where that comes in, and I use all of them for those different reasons, and just kind of depends on the day. So yeah,
that's awesome. I love this. Is great. So where do you see your herbalism business going? So I love that you have the product development background.
Yeah, I do. But
that's probably been very helpful to you.
It's so funny though, because I don't want to get into product at all. Like, product is a byproduct of what I really want to do.
Scale your business.
I'm not.
Every single buzzword that's out there is that you need to scale
up. How are you gonna? What if you want to sell it? I'm like, I don't. I just want to.
Everybody feels like they need to get. Like, I feel like I made not the mistakes. It wasn't a mistake, but I wanted to scale, and so I opened a second yoga story, but I didn't have a second Lynn. Yeah, and I didn't have the capital
only one
to
Lynn.
hire a second Lynn, and so I got to the point where after 3 years of I supported a yoga community, supported teachers, that I had to financially pull out. Our lease was ending, and I couldn't recommit to it. And I realized that, like, not everybody needs to scale.
Yeah, that's a boundary lesson, and I think that is one of those things that comes up repeatedly. We'll never stop learning about how to set ourselves. We're always going to try to set ourselves kind of beyond ourselves. But I when I look at it, I don't look at product. I actually don't want to be in stores everywhere, like local stores, sure, but really my goal is to focus more on community education. In a world of instant information, there's so much misinformation. Oh, yeah. It's crazy how you go on and you'll like search an herb and then it'll be like, oh, counterindication, don't use for this, don't use for that. And I'm like, oh no, okay. Or, I see so many companies that just take advantage of herbalism where it's like a $30 watered down glycerite 1 ounce bottle and to help you wind down at the end of the night. And then it's like, not to I don't want to name a company, but there's like big corporations that are now trying to, and I'm like, there's not enough dosage of anything to do anything. This is sugar water you are giving people and they're paying for it. Yeah. And they are paying for it. So my goal is to teach people to make the products that they connect with, and just to have fun with it. Like I want to have hundreds and thousands of community herbalists running around. That would be the goal, is to have everyone being able to be have their own herbal sovereignty and take their wellness for the acute situations, for your colds, your flus, your symptomatic types of things that are coming in. That's my short-term goal, right? My long-term goal, Lynn, I'm a dreamer, and I'm a manifester. I'm always wanting to.
Is that your, the human design? Are you a manifester?
I am a big manifester. In fact, this job, this company, everything. Yeah, I'm a visual. I can visualize it, and then I'm comfortable in the uncomfortable of waiting for the next step to come to me. That's been a practice. But I want to have some land where I can have a beautiful herb farm, and I can actually have like retreats and like have like yurts on the property, and be able to have people come out and do wellness, in like more intensive workshops, and then have people actually meet the plants that they're working with, because that is a huge part of herbalism, is understanding and connecting that, hey, this comes from the earth. You tend to it, you harvest it, and it is an energetic exchange. So one day I will have some kind of an herb farm where people can come out and do like wellness retreats and then go from there. But ironically, product is not my main objective. So yeah,
I love that, because I think the connection has gotten lost with all of our parasocial relationships. That's a relationship through social media, which is beneficial, and it is a type of connection, but there's nothing that can replace like a one-on-one human connection.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where the pendulum is swinging back towards. That we do, like, I think, again, love-hate relationship with social media, and there is lots of benefits to social media. We have access to so much information and misinformation. But the connection, the one-on-one guidance and personal coaching, and having somebody there to be like, let me guide you along through this journey when we're going through something hard, as opposed to us just doom scrolling, which creates more isolation. And I think that's ultimately like what we're experiencing in our world right now, when they talk about like the loneliness epidemic with men and
it's with women as well too.
Yes,
we get into our own heads that we have to solve everything by ourselves. We have to do, and when in reality we do have a community, and the more you get in the community, the more you realize, wow, there's some really awesome people out here. I am not alone, and there are, so I imagine these workshops, and I see, I've done one where I had a mocktail hour where we did herbal infused, tinctures, and we mixed and matched, and that was super fun. Doing herbal aphrodisiacs. There's like a really fun side to herbalism. There's a whole fun side to it. But with the wellness consultations, that's what I do best, because it's someone who comes in with a cough, for example, who's saying, I've got a cough. But if you just throw, okay, this is a respiratory herb, so therefore it's for this person. Okay, well, have you talked to what kind of cough? Is it a dry cough? Is it a wet cough? Is it hot and inflamed? Is it wet and boggy and stagnant? You're going to treat and approach those coughs completely differently, and people have general constitutions too. So just being able to be kind of an interpreter is what I see myself as like someone that you can come to, and because it's not every herb fits every person,
right?
And every person shouldn't be trying every herb, and sometimes people are like, okay, echinacea, I take it when I'm sick, got it. But really with echinacea, it's more viral. It's for viral situations, and you really want to take it on the front end, not when you're already like, oh, I'm already, because yes, it stimulates your T cells, but and your macrophages, but it's not gonna it's gonna work a lot better if you take it sooner. So just being a person of information that you can kind of bypass the doom scrolling and the internet searches of I have no idea by the end of it.
And there's always some celebrity that's hot.
Oh gosh. And that's what I don't want to do. Oh, every time I see it, I just want to be like, greenwashing, stop it, like don't buy it, like comment as like herb person 101. No, I'm just kidding, just like don't do this.
I already have a list that I'm going to talk to you about off camera. But speaking of cameras, we are doing this through our live stream platform. So I'm trying something different as opposed to Zooms for better quality. But Carolyn also takes a lot of advantage of our online platform. So how has that helped you stay consistent in your practice versus coming into the studio, and what are some pros and cons to each one of those?
I think it came right at the perfect time for me because my schedule was shifting. I was shifting out of a full-time student where I can come in at, pretty much I can schedule around it, to, oh my gosh, my mornings are now gone and my evenings are busy. How in the world am I going to keep this up? So, the online is able to keep my, I think anyone that has anxiety deals with, they like their routine. They like their people. Once you meet your people, you like your people. I like these teachers. These are my teachers. These are, you kind of take it personally. So I love that, if I'm out of town, I can be like, oh, Lynn's Thursday class is posted. I can hop on and get my abs worked out because she's going to do it. Or Amanda or Chris's classes or, really any of them. But I find the convenience factor is fabulous. I can do it on my back porch or whatever, and then I can get on with my day. The in-person, though, I will say there is more of that energetic connection that you get in the room where you're all breathing in and breathing out and you're all coming for that same
music to a yoga.
I love it. And I tell you.
And then when people aren't breathing, I'm like,
breathe! It's part of it. It's part of it.
It's like literally one of the best parts.
Yeah. You got to move the blood. But, that energetic connection, that community connection, there's nothing that can replace that. But the virtual has been an absolute tool in my tool belt because, it's convenient as can be. And it's just, you get to come in, when you come back to class, you don't feel like behind or like you've missed last week's asanas or last week's, flow. And now you kind of understand where to jump right back in. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anything else that you would like to add? Otherwise, look for Carolyn's workshops here soon. Story.
I would say just, for people who are interested, you can look me up at fullmoonelixirs.com. I have a website.
We'll have it in the show notes.
Yes.
And she's going to prep a code for our listeners and watchers so that if you're interested in purchasing her products, you'll get a little discount on the first one.
Yep. And then really it's going to be checking me out on social media. As much as an elder millennial as I am, I cringe at it all, but it is something that I'm having fun with. I'm starting to share more like tips and tricks and gardening, bringing the garden into the kitchen and showing how kitchen medicine works. So, that's on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So give me a follow and a like and a subscribe. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you on YouTube yet?
No, but I keep getting people are like, you need long form, like for real. And I'm like, that's more.
That's right. Well,
I just want to be in the garden.
That's right.
I just want to be in the garden, like, saying hello to my plants. And
maybe you can get a little intern who would want to do
that
for you and produce it for you.
I definitely have been on the lookout. I need my apprentices.
Well, thank you everyone for joining Carolyn and I today, and be sure to check out her website on fullmoonelixirs.com, and thank you for listening to Yoga Story